10 Psychological Effects that Affect Your Behavior. Sometimes we do something weird and then think, what was the logic of my behavior? Was it there? In fact, there's always some logic, but most often it hides in certain peculiarities of your mind. Today, we're going to tell you about 10 psychological effects that affect you almost every day. Watch the video till the end to understand why we always want something that is impossible to achieve and why we act one way or another. Number 10. The anchoring effect. People feel it's much easier to evaluate something if they have the original price, even if it's wrong, as kind of an anchor. It's often used by stores. For example, you wouldn't buy a blouse for $300 in your right mind. However, if you see it originally cost $1,000, you'll think it's a sin to miss such a great deal, even though the initial price might be invented. Number 9. Deflection to the result. We often judge the correctness of a decision by the final result, not by the actions taken to achieve it. This effect is often used by those ads which concentrate you only on the final result, for example, on buying. So, if you're using a brand new iPhone, you cannot claim that the decision to spend all your money on it was right. Number 8. The paradox of choice. The paradox of choice says that the more options there are, the less possibility we'll be happy with our final choice. Keep in mind that sometimes you buy something and then regret it because you could have bought it on sale or you could have found another model. Even if the final decision is the best, we can stay unhappy because the choice was too big. Number 7. Clustering illusion. This illusion is characterized by the tendency to see a certain system in random coincidences. This especially applies to gamblers and lovers of fate signs. Both of them can wrongly interpret events. Don't wind yourself up, okay? Number 6. Pratfall effect. Imagine a couple walking down the street, and one of them suddenly hits a pole. It's unlikely the other one will think, "What an idiot." On the contrary, the first one will seem even sweeter. It's because perfection is repulsive and mistakes are attractive. They make us more human. That's why you shouldn't get too upset having stumbled in front of anyone. Number 5. The Kuleshov effect. The effect when a viewer, after seeing two unrelated frames, unconsciously makes up a logical connection between them is called the Kuleshov effect. Kuleshov created a short film in which a man's facial expression was alternated with various shots. The audience thought that his facial expression was different each time, depending on whether he was looking at a plate of soup, a dead girl, or a woman on a sofa. However, his face was the same all the time. This effect is successfully used not only among cinematographers, but also among marketers, instilling in you certain associations with a certain product or character. Number 4. Body negative. Body negative is a condition where a person thinks they're ugly, and this is why their personal life is a fail, and their whole life is a fail. Most often such people are attractive, and the problem is more about self-esteem than real flaws. Number 3. Survivorship bias. Most often we judge a situation only by successful people, survivors, and that's why we know just one side of it. For example, we envy a business person who got rich selling Bengal lights, but we don't know how many business people failed with them. You should always try to look at things from different angles. Number 2. Hard-to-reach effect. Roughly speaking, this is the phenomenon telling that the hard-to-reach is always more desirable. Even if we look at it from a human level, closed, high status, no one knows what's on their mind people always seem more attractive than others. Number 1. The fear of beauty. Did you notice that ordinary people are less likely to sit down next to beautiful people, for example on public transport? They do it only if there are no other seats left. In fact, some people feel excessive tension next to beautiful people, excitement, double control of one's actions, the desire to save face, and the fear of comparison. Such stress doesn't arise next to an average person. Do you know any interesting psychological tricks that help in communicating with anyone? Share them in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button below the video and click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.